In Level 1, we will review the different types of quadratic equations and we will review factoring. A quadratic equation in standard form is f of x equals ax squared plus bx plus c. For example, something like f of x equals 2x squared plus 4x minus 1. That would be an example of a quadratic function in standard form. The vertex of the quadratic function can be found either using a calculator finding a maximum minimum point in any form, but to do it algebraically, you would do x equals negative b over 2a, and then the y value of the vertex is what you get when you plug that x value in. So f of negative b over 2a. And so in this example that I just gave, to find the x coordinate of the vertex, I would do negative 4 over 2 times 2, which gives me negative 1. And then if I plug negative 1 into the function, I get negative 3. So the vertex would be the point negative 1, negative 3. As for the axis of symmetry, if we think about what this parabola would look like, if the vertex is at the point negative 1, negative 3, somewhere around here, and this parabola is right side up because the a value, or the number in front, is positive. If a is positive, the parabola is right side up. If a is negative, it's upside down. So this parabola is right side up. So it would look something like this. And the axis of symmetry is a vertical line that passes through the vertex, which divides the parabola in half symmetrically. And the equation of that vertical line is always the x coordinate of the vertex. So our vertex was negative 1, negative 3 in this example. So the axis of symmetry is x equals negative 1. So in general, you would always do x equals negative b over 2a, whatever the x value of the vertex is. And in our example, it would be x equals negative 1. Factored form of an equation doesn't really have a general form, but it's easier to just kind of look at examples for factored form. A quadratic equation in factored form might be something like f of x equals x minus 2 x plus 6. That would be an example of factored form. And the vertex in factored form isn't the best form for finding a vertex, but what you can do is use factored form to find x-intercepts very easily. So looking at this example, this function would have x-intercepts at positive 2 and negative 6. And the vertex is going to be right in the middle of the two x-intercepts. So I could actually find the average of the x-intercepts. So in this example, if I wanted to find the vertex, the x-coordinate would be negative 6 plus 2 divided by 2, or the average of those two x-intercepts, which would be negative 2. And then, just like before, to find the y value, you would plug in the x value into the function and get the y value. If we plug negative 2 into the function, we get negative 2 minus 2 times negative 2 plus 6, which would be negative 4 times positive 4, which is negative 16. So the vertex would be negative 2, negative 16. And then again, the axis of symmetry is a vertical line going through the vertex. So our vertex was way down here at negative 2, negative 16. Parabola looks something like this, and the axis of symmetry because x equals -2 in this example. Okay, and then vertex form does have a general equation. It is f of x equals a times x minus h squared plus k. And the vertex is very easy to find from vertex form. You just use the two numbers h and k. So hk is the vertex. So looking at an example like f of x equals -2 x plus 1 squared minus 5. The vertex of this equation would be, you take the opposite for the x-coordinate, so that since I have x plus 1, the x-coordinate of the vertex is -1, but I don't take the opposite for the y. -5 would be the y-coordinate of the vertex. And this comes from transformations. So think back to our transformations unit. The vertex of this parabola would shift 1 to the left, down 5. So that's the vertex. And then the axis of symmetry, again, is the x-coordinate of the vertex, so x equals -1 in this case, or x equals h in general. The graph of this function would have its vertex at -1, -5, somewhere around here, and this parabola, since it has a negative a value, that same rule applies up here. Since the number in front is negative, it's an upside down parabola. There you go.